Oldboy is a 2003 South Korean thriller directed by Park Chan-wook and starring Choi Min-sik. This movie is praised by a lot of people for being the best South Korean movie, for being an excellent movie in general. Roger Ebert called it the first great movie of the 21st century, and I love this movie. But, a little warning before you go watch this movie, this is one of the strangest South Korean movies, and kind of disturbing in the second part. The first part is weird, with ants, metaphors, and hallucinations, and I tried watching this movie with my family, and after more or less 25-30 minutes, they were hating it. With a passion, I'm not lying. I went to stop watching it because they just couldn't watch it. If you like movies that are kind of weird, you're definitely going to love Oldboy. And the story of Oldboy is kind of straightforward, but not really, because it's about a man who is pretty down on his luck, who is a drunk, and one day he is kidnapped and is kept inside a room for 15 years. Yeah. And one day he is released. Why has he been released? Why was he kidnapped in the first place? Who kidnapped him? And those are questions that are kept throughout the entire movie. And it makes for a fine drama with great moments. And this is a movie full of memorable sequences, and I'm not going to spoil them, except for one excellently choreographed hallway fight done with one single take, which is phenomenal. But there are also some more graphic moments, and this is the thing about this movie. I love that it has crazy violence that's usually kept off screen, you know? It's one of those movies where, I don't know, for example, which does not happen here, but someone is pointing a pistol to a man's head and then pulls the trigger and it cuts just a second before, but it still affects you. So a lot of the actual gore and violence is kept off screen, but except for one scene regarding a tooth, which is painful to watch. But the special effects department is excellent, and the story is great. This is another philosophical kind of movie about redemption, about vengeance, what is the meaning of life once you've fulfilled your revenge. Something that keeps you alive for years and years, and once you have it, what are you gonna do later? So there are a lot of good questions, and the acting is off the charts. Choi Min-sik is phenomenal in this movie, and they actually ad-libbed a couple of sequences which are great, and there is a octopus scene which I had to do, which is, oof, I don't blame him. It was kind of hard to watch, but there are also other great actors. The guy who plays the villain is probably one of my favorite villains in a movie, because I like villains that you can actually get behind, and this one has some of the best motivations to be a villain ever, and his story arc is, it breaks you. It's a movie that makes you think a lot, but it's still very Korean in the sense that it's weird, it's violent, it has crazy characters, there is pretty much no normal person in the movie, so go watch it. The soundtrack is one of the best soundtracks in movie history, easily, and also because it plays part into the plot. There is one track of the movie that plays part into the plot, and I always like that. And I mean, overall, what's there to say? It's a famous movie. It has a 2013 remake that completely ruins the message of the original, because the original has a certain message which is kind of bittersweet, and the remake has a more positive message, but the remake has actually more nasty shit in it, so I was like, why? Doesn't fit the plot. But definitely watch the original South Korean movie. Excellent acting, excellent cinematography, a great and memorable story with an ending that's unforgettable, to say the least. So guys, have you seen Oldboy? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Tell me in the comments below. Thanks for watching, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.